I hold in my hand the magic peanut, and because I'm such a great guy, I'm going to give it to you. You now have all the knowledge and experience of all the greatest poker players in the world. You're a regular Ivy, Helmuth, and Negraneau all wrapped up into one. You're a master at GTO, an expert at exploitative play, and you have all your emotions under check. The one thing the magic peanut cannot do is change your luck. You decide to play a poker tournament against me, and although you think I'm a great poker player, I'm not as good as you. And it's not even close. You decide to get it all in early pre-flop with a hand like ace king or pocket jacks. I call you with the opposite hand. I win, double up, and your tournament is over. Even though I gave you the poker peanut, you blew it. You gave me a 50-50 chance of winning, lost, and now you're blaming it on flips. You don't gotta win your flips. You gotta win your way aheads. Or as Ryan DePaulo put it, you gotta win your all-ins. And when you flip against me pre-flop, you're admitting that you have no more poker talent than somebody who just started playing yesterday. And you can give me my peanut back.
I'm Mr. Creepy, and this time it's an international trip to Vegas. The wife and kids are trailing behind, and our plus one is my 23-year-old nephew, Justin, from Dubai. Until an hour before this picture, I'd never met him. Until a day after this picture, he had never played poker before. Not live, not online, not even a home game. This vlog is going to implement a poker strategy to maximize the skill set of someone who's never played poker before. But before we do that, we're going to fly in late, and I'm going to register way late for the $1,500 Freezeout Tournament in a fairly large field against some pretty accomplished players. As always, thanks for tuning in to this relative secret, and like and subscribe if you like what you hear. As a poker vlogger, Dan Negraneau keeps track of his win-loss rate throughout the World Series of Poker. In keeping along with that theme, last trip was a net $450 tournament loss for me, and I'll try and get it back here. My question to you is my overall ROI really all that important to you when you watch my videos? And if so, are you eager to track the World Series of Poker win-loss rate of any other vloggers you've been watching on YouTube? If you want to chime in on the comments, I'd really appreciate your input.
Just about to enter Paris, as I will, registering 4.5 hours late for this $1,500 Freezeout. If you don't know what a Freezeout is, you got one shot. You bust out, you're done. I got one, they got one. Let's see how it happens. Go.
It's never a good sign when the first hand I show you is the chip race-off. The good news is with my 3 chances to win a tournament 500 chip as we color up our tournament 100 chips, I won that tournament 500 chip.
So I come in right after the second break, blinds at 400, 800, and I'm almost famous. I sit down right to the right of Matt Affleck. He's got a lot of chips. We started with 25,000, which is what I had when I sat next to him. He had about 110, and he's built from there. I think he has 150, so people keep coming over going, oh, dude, what you got, write it down, and everything like that. But they're looking at me. Hey, they're looking at me, almost. I am now at 27.5. We're on third break after level 9, 40-minute levels. Couple hand breakdowns. I played so far about an hour and 45 minutes. The best hand I've gotten is ace 10 offsuit, which I shoved pre-flop and took down a $2,500 pot with blinds 500,000. Other than that, I picked up deuces and somebody raised significantly and I folded that. I picked up pocket 5, somebody raised significantly, I folded that. Early on, maybe the third hand I sat down, I defended my big blind with 5-9 suited, and the flop was queen 5-9, and I checked expecting the initial raiser who raised to 2,500 when the blinds were 400, 800 to raise. He checked back. The turn was a third heart, and it was an ace, and he moved all in for 13 grand, and I didn't want to go out of the tournament on a Freezeout on my third hand play, so I folded. I think that was a mistake. I'm pretty sure it was a mistake, but you know, I'm still in, so maybe it wasn't. What do you think?
This is what your viewership of my poker vlogs looks like to me. Here's the percentage of people that were watching at the beginning of the video, and here's the likely percentage of people that are still watching now. For the 2/3 of you that are still with me, thanks. Hang around another couple minutes. I'll tell you how I staked my nephew and maximized his skill set through a simple yet effective poker strategy to maximize his results in a poker tournament. There's the guy I folded my 2 pair to, and he's got a lot of chips now. When I came back from break, I got blinded down over the next hour or so to 15,000, and with the blinds 1K, 2K, decided to open raise to 6,000 with King Jack of clubs. He was the big blind and shoved on me. I tanked, I called, and I lost to pocket jacks. I'd gotten reservations a week ago to Caesar's Bacchanal buffet across the street so I could meet my family during dinner break. Now that I had nothing to come back to, I didn't have to rush. This is my son. He just got his driver's permit, which means I'll be teaching him the basics of the road for the next couple months. I think you understand the absurdity of teaching him how to drive in the snow and hitch a trailer before he understands how to focus on staying in one lane. It should be obvious that when somebody's new, you should keep the lessons simple. Wish me luck over the next month or so. This is my nephew. I'm going to stake him in a poker tournament tomorrow. For those of you who don't understand staking, I'm going to pay half his buy-in, and if he wins, I get half his winnings. He's never played poker before. I have limited time to teach him how to give himself a chance at cashing. Rather than telling him things like stack to pot ratio, combo draws, and pot odds, I gave him a very simple strategy. No matter what, if you have a pocket pair of 9s or higher, or if you have an ace and a face, go all in and never bluff. Again, ace face or 9s or better and never bluff. With the understanding that the average recreational player will cash 15% of tournaments played, I figured this shove or fold strategy would give him about a 10 to 12% chance of making the money. Now, if you were to coach somebody from the ground up, how would you do it in a day? Let's see how things worked out for Justin and I. We played what's called the daily deep stack at the Horseshoe, which is essentially a very small buy-in in relation to other WSOP tournaments going on, in this case $250. And the tournaments last about 10 hours from start to finish. We entered at 3 p.m. for the 1 p.m. tournament, and our starting stacks were 20,000 chips. The reason I told Justin 9s or better or ace face is that in my experience, you'll get called or be calling much worse. Here's an example of an all-in on a call at my table early. I didn't have either one of these hands. What I did have was a set of 8s about a half hour later and pocket aces soon after that. My all-ins were called twice, and I went to break pretty healthy. Justin was hanging in too, a few tables over from me. On the pseudo dinner break a half hour later, I held steady around 65K, and Justin pretty much caught up to me. Pretty good for a first time. We were both below average, but with 123 making the money, we still both had a fighter's chance. Unfortunately, he got really short after the break and ultimately had to shove with queen high for 3 big blinds. He finished 150th or so. When I was short, I won a flip with ace king, then folded nearly to the money. The big stack at my table started raising every hand, so after the third time he did it, I shoved on him. Twice. He stopped bullying after that, and I chipped up a bit.
And short stack all along. We are now past the bubble. 75 people left. I'm just barely under average stack. I got a chance. It's getting late. 10:30. We're going on break. I'm going to come back. I'm ready to stay up all night. This is fun. World Series of Poker Daily Deep Stack. Mr. Creepy out.
I won a flip to chip up to 375K with blinds 15, 30, 30K. Then, unfortunately, I got a little chip drunk. Shoved with ace 7, got called by ace jack, and busted 46th. There was over 25,000 for first place, and I'm pretty disappointed that I didn't pick a better spot. I'm noting this on my vlog, so I'll be reminded not to develop bad habits.
Hi, Uncle James. I'm about to leave now. Just want to say thank you for teaching me some poker tips and tricks to get through the top 20% of my first poker tournament. And yeah, wishing you the very best. Heard you're in Vegas right now, so hope your tournament goes well. Bye. See you next time.